you know, when you only have two political parties, you cannot afford to have one of them go rogue. That forces the other party into unnatural positions in order to compete. You know, I know that the Republican Party has all kinds of problems, but it's the only thing standing between us and just total barbarism at this point. If we don't stop this steal now, there will never be another election to worry about. We have to stop the steal now, but after we do that, we've got to fix some of the problems. It's like we need a bomb-proof voting system that says, like blockchain-based and open-source software. It's got to have at least that for a minimum, right? I believe we have to have a couple of laws which get rid of the duopoly. I mean, that says that you know, nobody should fear to vote his first choice on the first ballot, and nobody should ever hold a public office with less than 50% of the vote. That says that you need instant runoff voting. Okay, you need a law that says that you need, you know, at least a simple secret level security clearance to hold any kind of a statewide or national office. You know, you would have to have that to be a guard at the gate of any U.S. Army base, right? It's like there's no way in the world that Borka Bunga or Slick Clinton could possibly get any kind of a security clearance. You know, that would have saved, just that one simple step would have saved us from the last two Democrat presidents, right? There's a number of other kinds of things you could do. I'd like to see a choice on ballots for public offices that said none of the above, and if that choice ever wins, then the other candidate should be barred for life from holding public offices, and the parties that sponsored them should be barred for at least 5 years from running candidates for that office. In other words, the penalty for running dead wood for public offices should be severe.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that makes sense. It's just a few simple things you could do like that. Like I say, I mean, you ask yourself sometimes, how do you get Democrat U.S. senators and Democrat governors in these states whose legislatures are overwhelmingly Republican? I can tell you how that works. Manufactured votes simply cannot buy a state legislature. They can manufacture all the votes they want in Atlanta or in Detroit or you know, Madison, and the Republicans will still control their own areas, right? So that the next thing I'd like to see happen, if there's any possible way to do it, would be to get rid of this, not only get rid of the 17th Amendment, you know, and have the selection of U.S. senators back in the state houses where it belongs, but also U.S. senators, governors, any other state office, and probably electors for president, right? In other words, they're talking about the electors, and the state legislators actually do have the right ultimately to determine electors, you know, for the electoral college. I mean, that should be the norm. That shouldn't.
It should be.
That shouldn't be anything exceptional. Something you only do once every 100 years if something goes wrong, right? So in other words, the state legislatures are the closest things that we have, you know, ordinary people, to anything that actually responds to us. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's just a handful of simple things you could do that would fix most of the problems that we're seeing. Well, we've got to stop the steal now. Like I say, I mean, if we don't stop the steal now, you know, if they actually put Joe Biden in the White House on the basis of this bullshit election, then, you know, it's over.
It
right?
is, that's right.
At that point, the best thing we could do is have Texas and Utah secede from the Union, you know, and take the center of the country out with them, right? I mean, at that point, we've got nothing to lose.
Right.
Right? COVID-19, same thing, right? I mean, face masks, everything involved. You know, they can't even demonstrate that COVID-19 actually exists with real statistics. I mean, the death numbers are being taken, simply being subtracted from other things that kill people.
That's right.
Right? We've got this one doctor out there in West Texas in Odessa who's been curing people with an inhaled steroid, and not only is he curing everybody with that, but he says that, like, you've got 5 or 6 Pacific Rim countries that are doing that, between Taiwan and Japan. Neither one of them has lost as many as 1,000 people. Now, neither one of them lost 1,000 people. The Japanese lost more people than that.
It's Karen. Karen, bye Karen.
Bye Karen.
Yeah, one of the prettiest girls I ever knew in my life was named Karen. If it's got any branch, you'd be calling yourself Kareem now. You know, like the little kid that used to play buckwheat in our gang, you know, became a Muslim and called himself Kareem of wheat, right? You know, but at any rate. No, I mean, you'd only have to fix a few problems. They got to stop the steal now. I mean, you just cannot have You know, you can't have Joe Biden. I mean, this is an all-timer out old gangster, right? I mean, this would be like replacing Franklin Roosevelt with Al Capone on the day before Al Capone died of syphilis. So you can't do that. That's just crazy. Anyway,
Thank you. Woo!
thank you. Thank you, Joe. I hope that helps anything.
Yes.
Look,